Hey Anthony, I haven't got our Nick Ross sent Zach our recommendation to join the Ghost Adventures, and I got no response yet.
Me neither. I'm still waiting to sign my payment agreements.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Nick's a great guy. He said he'll vouch for us, and no response yet. So,
I,
hello everybody.
I don't
Today's
think we're
kind
gonna
of
get.
a different kind of show. We're talking about like investigations. Equipment that are used. Like some equipment people use on investigations. We know that you got our good friend Anthony. He does UFO, Bigfoot, cryptids, paranormal. Doesn't matter. He's got equipment for a lot of stuff. So we're going to talk about maybe some of the equipment that he uses, that he likes to use, and maybe we can kind of get a ballpark prices on some of these items because we know that we all can't afford all the items out there because there's some expensive ones, there's some cheap ones, there's just such a variety of equipment. What do you need? What do you go? What do you use? That's like the $1,000,000 question. Now, in the title, I use Ghost Adventures as not a benchmark, but they're supposedly the real deal. But I think they're a little bit of what I call exaggerators. But beyond that, I got a video here of Zack sharing some of the equipment that they use on the show, and then maybe each equipment he'll bring up, and I'll see maybe Anthony uses it, or is there like something better than that, stuff like that. So this is more of a teaching type of show today. So this is the first video of Zack talking about the equipment they use.
Hey, this is Zach with the Ghost Adventures crew. I wanted to show you guys some of the equipment and tools that we use on every single one of our investigations. Our most important piece of equipment, obviously, is our night vision cameras. We've actually went that extra step by using HD night vision cameras to try and get rid of all that grain and fuzz that you typically see with infrared cameras. This right here is what we call a sun gun. There's a bunch of infrared lights on the inside of here. It just increases the spectrum that we can see in pitch black.
Okay, now Anthony, I love the first one because you are way better with camera knowledge than a lot of people are. You and Ron knows a lot about cameras. So if somebody just buys a camera, like a Canon camera, it doesn't mean all cameras have like certain kind of night visions. There are probably some better than the others, but do a common like Canon camera which I have, do they have a common night vision in those?
You got to look for the one that has infrared on it. It's got to have an IR label on it for infrared. If it doesn't have that, it'll just be a standard camera. Now, some standard cameras do come with, the green night vision mode to it, but it's not as good as a camera that has a separate feature in it for night vision alone or infrared.
See, that's awesome. That's I didn't even know that. So,
and the sun gun is just an infrared light is all it really is.
So if I go in and want to buy a camera that's just for nighttime, I want to try to look for with the label IR on it.
You want to make sure it has infrared and night vision. There's cameras out there. I've actually made the mistake of going to Best Buy when I first got started, spend like $2,800 on a camera, and it sucked. Even though it says 50 times the zoom and all that, the magnification is not what you're expecting when you're doing UFOs and you're trying to film the sky. You need the correct gear. You know what I mean? Your best bet is going to one of the sites that promote paranormal or UFO investigating equipment because they'll have the exact stuff you need.
Now, the only thing I'm worried about going to a site that might have the word paranormal, like, do they up the prices on purpose because they're saying
some of them do. Some of them do, but some of them will send you to the exact store where you can purchase it. Like if Best Buy has it, there'll be a link. Like you can get, for example, you can get this REM pod at such and such a location for this price, or you can get the psionics on discount from psionics today. A lot of these paranormal places will have links to the actual companies.
Enzo, which we all know, Enzo's a very intelligent person that has probably had the best smile you ever
Sure they are,
seen
Enzo.
on social media. Wrote, "Is Ghost Adventures the most realistic of the paranormal investigator shows? I never watch any of them. I'm looking for more content since the writer strike prevents new stuff anytime soon." Well, actually, Enzo, I look at Ghost Adventures as more of a entertainment type of show, because when you watch it, you can tell Zack is an actor.
Scripted.
It's very scripted. So it's more of entertainment. So if that helps young people to get involved in the paranormal, that's fantastic. But to say listen, when they first went out, that's not. I know a lot of people. A lot of people turn on them. I know that. But when they first went out, when they did that first documentary,
We were all hooked
with Nick Grohl, that stuff was good. That stuff was real investigations. It's just when you saw over time on the Travel Channel that they're on, Discovery Plus channel, you can see that Zack wanted more and more fame. So they kind of started exaggerating more and more. Like
him getting possessed every episode, or
every episode, the man is on
something
the ground,
moving in every
crying,
episode,
angry.
Things open and closing and being thrown every single episode. It became more, like you said, entertainment purposes for
And I'm not here to pick the battle between Zack and Nick. That's you guys' research that yourself. But you could tell that at the time, Zack and Nick were both 50-50 partners. But you could see that Zack wanted to be more 60, 70, 80, 90 and kind of like push him out. But that's a whole nother story. But Ghost Adventures is just entertainment, Enzo. So if you're going there to watch and learn, then you're gonna scare yourself because he gets possessed, like Anthony says, on every other show. And it's like, man, if you're getting possessed, why I want to go on investigation? Where most people go on investigation, never once in their life felt any possession.
Right.
All that, but I guess Zack is just a lucky guy that keeps getting possessed, or he has the right priest that hangs out with him. So let's see.
If you want to watch a good show, his former partner Nick Groff had a show called Paranormal Lockdown. That's interesting. That I would recommend over the
Lockdown was good.
Yeah.
Is that the same one where they investigate a whole town, or is it that was another one, right?
This is the one where they get locked down in a specific location for either a night or a week straight.
Okay.
And they record everything. They got video cameras on them while they're sleeping through the whole 24/7 process. And that's more interesting.
And then Nick partner up with the girl actress who now is partner up with the Osborne kid. And They used to go into a town, investigate everything. That was really fun. And then I think somebody in the chat was saying, Andy was saying the Hoser Files was okay. Yeah, like I said, their shows, there's that one where that woman medium walks around with that ex-cop. I forgot what that one's called. They walk around the ex-cop and like she goes first and feels it, and he investigates the outside, and then they supposedly meet up and they crisscross their information. If that really does happen behind the scenes, I can't tell you, but thanks for the answer. Hey, that's what we're here for. Now let's see what Zack says. Their second equipment. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Now you said the light that he uses.
You're talking about
is that an additional light you have to purchase?
Yes, it is.
And those kind of lights that he's using for it, I'm guessing they probably cost a lot more because they different spectrum.
Infrared only. You can't see it with the naked eye. Only the camera's infrared picks it up.
You know if they charge like a lot of extra for those versus a regular light?
I'm not 100%. I know Ron has one. Long Island Bigfoot has one as well. I'm going to assume you could pick one up, $40-$50 if you search.
Yeah, but you can see right there where it starts to like build up a little pricey because you just can't have the camera. You want to have the red light.
Yeah, for it. Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
And you were thinking of Katrina Wildman with Nick Groff on Paranormal Lockdown. I think that's the one with Jack Osborne now.
Dead Files. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Jack Osborne works with Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. That's his partner on his show.
I've got 4 of them, maybe $20 a pop. Okay.
Yeah, depending on, how, like I said, how high of quality you want to go. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good. And let me see here. Oh yeah, if anybody, this is a little money savior. If some of you have if some of you are subscribed to Max, HBO, and Discovery Plus at the same time, get rid of your Discovery Plus because Max carried it all over. So you can watch everything on Discovery
You
Plus
saved
on
my
Max.
ass yesterday on that one when I was going to watch Long Island Bigfoot on Travel Channel, and you're like, "Nah, you have HBO Max, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, "It's on there." I was like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah, yeah. You just got to scroll down and it shows you all the individual channels that they have. And but the sad thing is, if you are a Discovery Plus subscriber only, you don't get none of the Max. So it's like you gotta. They kept Discovery Plus because some people don't want both. But this is
Oh, that was Mike. He was on the Travel Channel. Since we were talking about, he was on Paranormal Caught on Camera season 6.
it's the
Episode
very first
1.
episode for season 6. There's only
Yeah.
one episode for
It's
season
called
6.
Long Island Bigfoot.
And
Actually,
yeah, when you guys watch it, if you guys do watch it, he starts around the 30-minute mark.
yes,
They go through some other people first on their stuff, and then he gets about a 30-minute mark.
he was great in that, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I just watched them this morning with Sea Squatchers, which is
It's so weird seeing your friends on TV now, right? It's crazy.
it's like, hey, I know him. And somebody be like, yeah, right. He's been on my show. He has not been on your show. Yeah.
I was just camping with him for a whole month.
But now the question is, since he's a star, will he ever come back to our show?
Yeah,
Mike is a down to earth guy.
Mike's not like that at all.
He's not like that at all. Mike,
one of the guys.
It's just right now, Mike is getting a lot of requests to go on shows. It's great.
He's well deserved.
It's well deserved. It's like it's cool, and it's cool because of all shows that he's on. It's called Paranormal Con on Camera, where a lot of times it's mostly the paranormal stuff. So it's very cool. They did a Bigfoot clip in a Paranormal Con on Camera. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. You would have think that, right? I would have thought finding Bigfoot. I would have thought, but Paranormal Con on Camera. That's
And just for Enzo, yeah, we see each other on YouTube all the time, but when you see someone on TV, you know they made it on a mainstream circuit. That's why it's better.
one day, Enzo. Me and Anthony will be on TV. We'll
I'll
probably
be-
break every single camera or every single TV in the nation is probably going to blow up.
I can't tell you for what exactly at the moment due to contracts, but I'll be on TV very soon.
So let's see the next equipment that Zack talks about.
This is one of the new pieces of experimental equipment that we're using. As I say, we're experimenting with it. We're working with a scientist who's actually creating this stuff for us. This is called a dark light. It's used to illuminate the buffering zone in between our world and the spirit world. That's kind of like a bugs go to bug zappers. It's meant to attract ghosts to this light. And we've already had some great success with this piece at the Houghton Mansion. We feel we attracted that mist. This is our...
Oh, sorry about that.
Is that your ghost talking to you?
I know, right? Usually I put it on turn off, but I guess I forgot. Now that dark light, do you have anything you use like a dark light on any of your research? Because I don't.
I don't either. Far be it for me to say I can't tell you if it works or don't work. It could be. He promotes a lot of products on his show.
Yes.
For people, so you never know what's what with this guy. You know what I mean? There are specific things that you do need. Spirit box, REM pod, IR light cameras, of course, night vision cameras, full spectrum cameras. Regular point and click cameras opposed to video cameras. You need all that stuff. EMF detectors. Everything else really is just, if you got the money and you want to play with it, then go get it.
I just want to let people know I got a message from Exploring Hartley. His Jeep is actually stuck in the woods.
Oh shit.
And they just got it out. He's on his way home, but he doesn't know if he'll make it in time. But you know, hey, we all been there. We all been in vehicles getting stuck.
Yes,
in
Chris.
things.
Thermal cameras are the best. FLIR cameras. I love my little FLIR camera from FLIR. It's one of my favorite tools.
Dark light.
It's like a black light.
Yeah. $16.99 black light, dark light. So you can see dark light.
Nothing special, dude.
Maybe I'll type in, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Paranormal dark light. I don't know. Paranormal. Oh, yeah, like you said. Oh, got some good books here. You got Death Before Dragons. But you can see there's dark light, and the cheapest one looks here is $16.59. I mean, it's
Zack has he's a germaphobe. You'll see him on the show wearing a full respirator and gloves and the whole 9 yards. He's a germaphobe.
That's weird. I'm not saying it's weird to be a germaphobe, but to be in a field that you know you're going to be in dirty down buildings and stuff, and
crawling through filthy basements and what have you. Yeah, I agree.
Do they wear protective glasses when using those? Well, in that clip that they showed there, it didn't look like they were wearing protective glasses, but I can see your point.
I wouldn't point it at your eye. I wouldn't point any of these lights at your eyes, especially one of these laser pointers that we use. Freaking thing will blind you.
Let me see here. Because there's let me see here. I don't see any glasses.
I don't think so.
Great success with this piece at the Houghton Mansion. We feel we attracted that mist.
But that's a good question. I mean, that is a really good question, because I would think any kind of glasses you're wearing in the middle of the dark would just make things even darker.
I misread that. I thought he was saying gloves, but he meant glasses.
Yeah, glasses. And yeah, I just think wearing glasses.
He's a germaphobe, this dude.
He really is. He truly is.
There's some shows where he's wearing like full Type X suits, head to toe.
Did you say on average? Yes, but it's worth researching for the best quality when it comes to IR.
Very true.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. But the thing is, you can only afford what you can afford, you know, and we all want the best, but sometimes we can't. But it doesn't mean something's cheaper ain't as good. You're just gonna have to research it, read through comments, and making sure they're not comments from the company itself. And guys, that happens. Companies have their own people put in fake comments about the product, so you really gotta do your research and try to
for like IR night vision, psionics.
And I'm not telling people go through Amazon for everything. It's just Amazon is just easy for this show because they always sell something of everything. So let's see the next equipment.
This is our EMF detector. An EMF detector measures electromagnetic fields within the environment. If we're walking around and I feel like this cold chill or cold blast of air hit me, you know, it just may be a spirit. And grabbing this and detecting EMFs or spikes can measure electromagnetic energy. That's something that spirits are said to give off.
Now, do you have yourself an EMF detector?
Yeah, I have two. Basic, standard $25 ones. Nothing special, but definitely get yourself one, without a doubt.
Oh yeah,
right there. I have that one right there that you just showed. You got it on the bottom.
Yeah, that one. And I have mine. Shoot,
right there.
Mine is the exact same one. And mine that I have almost looks like this.
Ron has that one. That's a good one. It tells you like that tube that comes out the left and the right side. It'll tell you.
Exploring Harley has the same one that I use, and it's kind of cool because you got a green light, and if there's, you know, because you're not always staring at the camera, especially at night, but the light will change color if it picks up, and it's pretty cool because if you put it over your phone, it does pick up a phone, so it just tells you how strong it could be. So in the middle of the night, so when you walk around the EMF detector, you want to make sure you don't carry it with a piece of battery equipment that's on next to it. Because you can change frequency, you can change the sensitivity on it. So if you got heavy equipment with battery juice and all that, make sure the EMF detector is not near it. You can pick that up. And I'm wondering sometimes, I'm not saying these shows do it, that if they have somebody carrying something like a remote battery on the back of their pockets
to make it jump.
I'm not saying shows are doing that,
It's
but
TV, man. You know.
But that's easy to be done. That's not like hard tricks to do, to turn something on to make it go off.
I'll tell you one thing. Every year the equipment gets better and better and better.
Oh, you know? Way better. Oh, much, much, much better. And that's important. You just bring that up. It's important to know, if you can, what are they using inside the equipment, you know? And a lot of people might not know this, that I always make sure there's not hardly any gold copper stuff inside of any equipment, because in the cable world, gold copper is the worst you can use. Gold copper picks up too much interference. When we used to go repair a lot of TVs, because people used to have double ghost images, it's because they're using gold-plated cable wires. They're like, oh, we spent $50. Well, man, you just got ripped off, because gold is a conductor. So when I buy equipment, I make sure there's no gold in it, because gold is not good.
I would have never thought. I mean, NASA coats everything with gold. You would think. I mean,
in the cable world, we cut those fittings off. Gold splitters are just the most garbage. And these people I just spent $50 on it, man. I'm going to show you a 50-cent silver plated splitter. Watch this. TV's clear. I'm like, Radio Shack is good, but you don't buy the gold stuff from Radio Shack, because they charge you more and they're crappier. Now it's different now. You're right. Technology is better. They do get better. Now those were more interference with the analog days, but now everything has become digital.
Right.
So digital is a little different. Digital either works or it don't. It breaks up in squares. Mm-hmm. So you don't really see the ghosting anymore on TVs. You know? I think I was talking to Nikki the other day, like, Nikki, remember the days when at midnight TV goes off and you had the
American flag came on, the American
and then everything is snow. We're talking about poltergeist.
Jesus Christ.
Like, we can't really do poltergeist no more, because everything is 24 hours. Everything's digital.
That's right.
I mean, the government, they shut down analog TV. It's all digital.
That's right. I remember when the TV used to go off at like midnight. Jeez.
You always have that song. We used to stay and watch Benny Hill at night.
I don't remember if it was God Bless America or whatever, but the American flag used to pop up and they would sign off with that.
Yes, Enzo. Yes. We now
conclude this broadcast. That's right.
God, those days between doing the poltergeist with the TV and Benny Hill. Oh my God. Yeah, Andy. Benny Hill. We used to always be played only at night, where that bald-headed guy goes slaps all those girls on the head and stuff. That stupid song, him running around. Yeah, I watched Benny Hill when I was a kid. That was the closest to porn that you got. Nobody could afford cable TV back in those days. Was a privilege. It wasn't. Right. It wasn't the norm. If you had cable TV, you're like, you got Cinemax? Let's see what else Zack has for us.
Next piece of equipment is a infrared digital still camera. And as you can see, this big window here is full of countless infrared lights. And there's two modes to this camera that's very cool. There's a motion activated mode, which means that we could go and set these all over the place, and if anything passes in front of this infrared sensor, it'll trigger 3 pictures, 1, 2, 3. And this became very useful in the Houghton Mansion investigation, where we caught that unexplained mist, and it actually recorded a temperature drop of 10 degrees from the other pictures. The other mode that we used in Houghton Mansion was the manual mode, where we can program it and just take regular pictures by pressing this button. This is another thermometer.
I don't
That's an older piece of equipment.
Yeah, because I don't see them use that no more at all.
No, but that was like a pretty much a trail camera almost that had IR capability.
It's probably like the company, like, hey, take this along with you guys, sponsor us in a way.
When is this video here's got to be from like 2009 or something like that.
You know what? I don't remember when this one is.
But for reference, it's good to see where the equipment went from then to now.
It is. And I got another one that's a regular modern day paranormal investigator. I just want to do a comparison. There's not a whole lot of videos of the Ghost Ventures doing it, and then we'll do some comparison.
Button. This is another thermometer that we use. It's an infrared thermometer. We use this a lot, and it's a point and shoot, which becomes very, very helpful. You just point this, and it projects an infrared light out and actually records the actual temperature of wherever we point this. Another tool
Still a
that
great
can help
tool
us
today.
find cold spots.
Yes, there's so many different models and brands.
That's a great gadget, man. I have one.
To get that infrared, to get that heat feeling. Like I know you guys used it on your investigations with the hand and all that. And there's so many different kinds. We can't tell anybody what kind they should get because there's just a lot. Infrared. And what do they exactly call it?
That is a thermal thermometer.
Thermal. I just like to look at
or thermal
prices.
gun, you know.
Yeah, they're like
There you go. First
there's
one.
different prices. There's cheap ones,
There it
$20.
is right
Here's
there,
the
$24 right there.
$24.99. So these are reasonable. Here's a good one for $16.99, limited time deal.
They're awesome, man.
And I think right now, isn't it Prime Day still?
Yeah, I think today's the last day, if I'm not mistaken, or tomorrow. But yeah.
So this is one of the cheaper
I have that
equipments
one
that
right
actually
there.
is very useful.
I have that white and purple one, top right. Right there, $19. Yep.
And with the coupon, you could get 20% off. I might put that in my and put save for later. Is there a save for later?
Can't hear you, Eric. Speaking to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna.
You didn't get it. You didn't get it, you mental midget.
No, I just add to cart. But that is a very useful tool. That is. I mean, especially if you're in the middle of a graveyard where you're at a cooler temperature, there shouldn't really be any heat, or you're in a building with no power on.
Speaking of which, Mike and I were in the graveyard. When was it? I don't know. What was it? Like a month and a half ago. And I wish I had some of the equipment that I have since purchased while we were out on that investigation in the graveyard, because all kinds of stuff was popping off. And it all started happening after Mike and I picked up this tombstone from like the 1800s that fell over. I'm finding the video now. Once we picked up that tombstone, the activity just really, really picked up tremendously. But the best place I would say is to find like an old graveyard and bring that gear in there to check out, because it's crazy shit just happens in there, man.
That is awesome.
Thing that spirits are said to create. The last thing is, and I may sound raspy, is because on our last investigation we had to use these. A lot of the locations that we go to are abandoned.
You're talking about
old insane asylums, very old buildings. A lot of these places have asbestos and black mold, and it's essential that we use these places because a lot of these places are they're pretty nasty, and we have to use these or else we'll become a ghost.
Now, if he's going into a building that is known to have it, first of all, if you want to know if that's true or not, they would have to sign a waiver, first of all, to go in there because they have stuff. And then everybody would be required to have to wear one because that stuff can kill you. So when they say that, if Zach's the only one wearing it, then I'm sorry, you can't sign a waiver and not wear one. If there's enough in there that can hurt you, they make everybody wear one, even with the waiver.
Oh, yeah.
So when they say that, and if he's the only one wearing it,
I know he has asthma, number one, or he says he does, and he's a germaphobe because he's said it on many, many shows. So I think because of the asthma and him being nervous, he's gonna do more damage. He uses the respirator.
Yeah. So if the place has enough, everybody would have to wear it because they're not gonna sign you. Because if you get in there and got sick, you can sue the people who own the building.
Never. Oh yeah, right. Can I show you something real quick?
Yeah.
All right, so this was what I was talking about when Mike and I went to Slavin Cemetery. We should try to put this tomb back that fell. Look, watch how big Hey, we're gonna sit you down here for a moment. Mike and I are gonna try to. We want to pick this back up if we can. Bear with us. But after we pick this up, man, everything popped off. You hear that's the EMF detector going wild.
It's because you disturbed something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow, bro.
Or we made something happy that we picked up the tomb.
It's in there. Oh, I can't get under it.
I know.
No, we need something. We need a tool.
Watch this. This thing.
People, what they're really doing is digging up a body.
They're digging up a body. Yeah.
They're grave robbers.
They're in there.
To buy equipment.
Give it one shot.
Yeah. Well, that's nice of you guys to do that.
But you hear the detector going off in the background? There's no metal anywhere.
All right. At least we got it kind of standing. It's a little more respectable.
Better than what it was.
A little more respectable.
Yeah. But this place was great, man. That was some adventure.
You know, I'm probably going to show the video tomorrow or maybe Saturday. When I last night I was doing a live show on TikTok. I was using the app. What's it called again? The app, Spirit Talker. And I'm not here to tell anybody that apps are real or not. That's up to you. But it was interesting during my thing last night because I was asking if you're a male, female, and right after I asked that, it said madam. So that was cool. But there was a part when it said there was a couple times it mentioned voices, and it said, "I just made a voice," and then all suddenly all the dogs started barking. So now I know dogs can bark, but it was just so cool that you get a message about a voice, and all the dogs start barking because y'all know animals got better hearing than us. They can hear things that we can't.
Right.
So that was very cool. You'll see that in the video. And I was just, like I said, kicking back, having fun, was expecting to get nothing. But last night I was getting I was stabbed by the leg. There's a man here. And it was just like, what? Stab? Leg? Be quiet. And they told me, be quiet, listen to me. And I was like, damn. It was very fun. I'll probably put that out tomorrow. I didn't think I was, but I'm like, this is interesting enough that maybe people might like it. Now,
I just wanted to say real quick because some people were asking in the chat. Yeah, I use a camera vest, especially when I'm out in the field and you got 8 cameras on you and 10 different batteries and 3 flashlights and backup stuff, and you need all those pockets.
Oh God! Well, if you in the chat, if you look at my last investigation video at a graveyard with my brother stuff, I was wearing a vest because he's right.
You got to carry 50 things with you.
One of the equipments that you all have to buy are backup batteries to the equipment that you have.
Literally, listen.
Literally, because your batteries can run out.
You got 2 camcorders, night vision, mini microphones for audio so you can hear us, FLIR cameras, laser pointers, REM pod, friggin' binoculars. You got the parabolic mic. It's a ton of shit. Extra batteries, flashlights. You're talking good 40, 50 pounds worth of gear. Where are you going to put it? In a pair of shorts? You have to do that.
I show people in the car that I brought a bag of batteries, and then when I was there, the ghost box went dead. It was dying out. It was brand new batteries. I had to put new batteries in there. So
that vest I got is great. And I tell you one thing, when Mike and I were out in the woods on that Bigfoot hunt, and I had the compass, I got a compass hooked up to it, our phones didn't work, and we were lost. We got ourselves lost. Thank God I had that compass on that vest too, man, or we would have been screwed.
Now, people, this video is not Ghost Adventures. This is another paranormal investigation group that's out there in Aberdeen, So, again, I'm not here to promote different groups. I'm not going to tell you that the equipment they use is better than the other teams. Everybody has to have their own kind of equipment that they feel that they like to use. But we're just comparing equipment that they use and would we use it?
and be here while they did the Lies and Legends, because our group has investigated the cemetery many, many, many times.
Look at all that stuff.
I know, right?
Imagine
I know,
carrying
that's,
that, in your hand. Forget it. Hey, ladies, good to see
We were
you.
here when we first started out. It's on our website. My husband taped it. It came up from behind me. An orb came up out of the ground and shot up through the middle and came right toward me. Came right at me, and so that was pretty neat. So,
and when those things happen, and what's sad is, it's not like those things just happen out of nowhere. You don't have your camera ready. You don't have your stuff. You don't catch it because it just happens. So that kind of stuff, I can see why they didn't capture that on film, because something just comes up. You're not even ready for it. I'm sure Anthony's been on a lot of investigations where you're just getting your stuff ready and something happened.
All the time. It's like the most common thing, man.
It sucks.
It's as if they know that, you're not set up yet. And they matter of fact, I'll tell you something really crazy. Andy and I were on the phone the other day, and we're on FaceTime talking to each other. And, I got a lot of stuff going on in this house. And there was an empty 2-liter peach Snapple bottle, right? And it was sitting on my granite table. It was there for like an hour. I just finished doing the show with you. I was in my kitchen talking to Andy. And the Snapple bottle, plastic Snapple bottle, empty, levitated off it like stood up and then dropped down, rattled, and stood on its top. And I'm holding the phone talking to Andy, and I said, Andy turned around and goes, I heard it. And I turn around and I show him the bottle. I'm like, if we were only facing the opposite way, you would have seen that. But weird shit like that happens a lot here.
I'm just showing some people that are still here. Terry Brown, it's good to see you. Uncle
Terry.
Bones, it's great to see you, my friend.
Bones.
And Danny sent me something in the mail.
Good face he showed. It's like blue. Was a blue light on it. A Bigfoot looking in somebody's house. It was on his channel.
Who you talking to?
Who else are we talking? I'm talking to you.
Oh, the video. The face looking in.
Danny Stainton on his YouTube channel on his short.
Oh, Danny Stainton.
Yeah, he had like the face of what could be a Bigfoot on there. It's pretty cool. It looked real.
Danny, put that link back in the chat. Hey, thank you so much. That's awesome.
Hey, Rocky, how you doing, Rocky?
I love it. Well, let's see what kind of equipment this group. Now, this looks like this group has a lot.
this is the Frank's box, which Ghost Adventures calls it the spirit box. Okay, this is where they can actually manipulate the radio waves. It's on AM radio band, but what it is that it's constantly moving, so it never stops. So they can manipulate it and try to talk through it.
You know, I want to ask you something, Anthony. A lot of people have that equipment like that where it'll computerize the voice word that they're saying. Even Spirit Talker app does that. Why not? You know, if it's sounding you out the words they're saying, I would think you want to use that on every single investigation because this makes it easier. What do you think?
Just me personally, I don't like that piece of equipment, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Only because it's channeling through radio stations.
Yes.
So I understand they say the paranormal, the ghost, or whatever is trying to utilize the words from these different radio stations as it's statically going through it. For me, I just don't buy it. If a ghost wanted to say something, I would rather get it on EVP. Just me, my personal preference.
And you know, you bring up a good point because I remember talking about exploring Harley. We were talking about the ghost box, like the radio thing. You really got to have somebody with headphones and really listening through the ghost box. And while like I'm walking around, it's hard to try to listen to a ghost box and concentrate what's around you. You really do gotta kind of have that guy to sacrifice where all he's gonna do is sit down and just listen to a ghost box. Because
let me tell you something.
It's hard to pick up words like
this parabolic mic. I've been playing with it. What a game changer, man! This thing is. I wouldn't be surprised if you could pick up paranormal with this.
Show it again.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could pick up paranormal voices with this thing because it's really good.
What would something like that cost? Like on open market?
You can get that for like $35.
Not bad. So that wouldn't hurt to have one.
No, not at all. You plug
what?
plug your headphones right into it, and you're good to go.
Sound like to me that equipment would be almost even more perfect on a Bigfoot investigation, trying to hear the noises and screams and the walking.
And it records too, Eric. It records and plays back. So I mean,
now that's great, because how many times you heard steps or tree knocking, and if that records,
yeah,
why would you not want to use it?
Yeah.
I know it's hard that one person can't carry everything. You got to pick and choose, and it also depends on how big your team is.
Well, I mean, you can rig a strap to this and carry it around, with a strap or something. Add it to your vest, by the way. But I mean, it's a great little piece to have.
And what is this one she's holding?
Our temperature gauges that detect temperature change where we are. This piece of equipment has 4,000 words in it. If they want to speak through it, they have to take time to manipulate it, and then they can speak. I'm sure you've seen this on TV. It's a K2 meter, and so if they want to try, they can answer through lighting up of the lights instead of speaking. They can have their answers through the lights. Of course, now it's activated because all of our cell phones are on. This is a tri-field meter. What it does is that you ground yourself to it, and you put it in an area where you know someone has been known to be there. And what they'll do is if they go past it or get close to it, it'll light up. Then we also have...
Yeah, we see a lot of investigations
have pump that. Right there. That's what I want.
Yeah, they put it somewhere, or they might put like if you think a place is maybe haunted by kids, you put a doll next to it to trigger something to go by it, or a wall.
That EM pump is supposed to raise the frequency for paranormal activity to pick up with that thing. A lot of people get like weird sensations from that because it's raising so much electromagnetic frequency. Again, I don't know if the EM pump is really raising the paranormal activity, or it's raising so much EMF in the room that it's making you think shit's happening. You know what I mean? But I still would like to try it out.
Andy, all you need to do is sit in the middle of a room with your iPhone.
He's right, because technically all that equipment that's there you could find on an app right now.
And we're actually going to talk about that part at the end of this.
EM pumps, just like Ghost Adventures does, which helps to put out energy into the air in case they need, because they drain all the energy. So we can pump it out into the air. Then we've got the EM vortex. This will put out more too. So if they're trying to manifest, they can drain that and use the energy to manifest if they want to.
Now that one is pretty interesting, because here I'm just taking this video off just real quick for this 1 minute video of equipment that I wish I can have. And this is the Tesla Coil.
Kids, so I got the new.
Oh, that's good, man. That's a cool Tesla
it's
coil.
Got the wreath on top. You might.
How much is that?
A small strand.
I'll type it in on Amazon to see.
So the Tesla coil.
They sell that. I don't think they sell that.
I know. I doubt it, but I like to use Amazon for fun.
Somebody made that.
You notice a couple things like
probably did.
In the back, and of course, coffee, because it's early. So let's plug this in, and you can see how it works. So here we go. I'm plugging in. Okay. But notice, I plugged it in, spinning, and the light turned on. Whatever is in this thing causes filaments to react. Of course, I got my little light bulb here. If I get close, it should start to light up. I'm not sure if it's doing that. Supposed to. Oh, you know what? I've got the wrong attachment. This one won't do it. But anyway, that's wild that the light turned on. Anyway, I'm pumping the area with electrons, the static electricity, and other interesting things that should be amazing for.
Enzo said it has that model for $99 bucks.
Oh yeah, I just type it in on Amazon for fun, and right here you can see one right there for $107 with 5% discount. There's even a music Tesla called Wireless Transmission. I don't know, that one looks $59. So there's
That's not the exact.
Yeah, that's not
that
the
I would
one.
want,
No,
though. No,
but
but I'm
this
saying
one here.
that one that you just showed us, that actual. I would want it with like the actual electrical voltage going through it. They got some really big ones that are really cool that people make.
Yeah, because people, the theory is ghost spirits are energy, and they use energy to help manifest, to speak, to talk. And if you have a source for power for them, the theory is they would pull from it and they
Right.
will use it.
Right.
You know, like just like joking wise last night when I was doing my thing, when I was getting voices, I actually pulled out some brand new batteries and like I said, use these batteries, use the power from it, you know, because
Well, you know what? I'm always saying that there's paranormal stuff going on here in the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this REM pod and we'll put it here. And while we're talking, and if anything makes contact with the antenna, we'll see. And we'll put it right here away from me.
This is
where
one
I
of our
can't touch it, and we'll see if it goes off.
yeah. We'll see what else with this person.
neatest things we have here. It's a regular recorder, but it's a what I would call like a regular recorder on juice, because when you put the noise canceling earphones with it, everything that we use when we are on investigation, we don't have to wait and do it and play it back later when we get home on the computer. We can hear it in real time. This is our newest.
That's okay. So, because you know the digital recorder that I have to take it home and download it, you know, and listen to it. But I think she just said that the one she has, I guess it tells you right there.
Possibly.
Let me see what she says. I just want to go back just for a second, guys.
Noise canceling earphones with it. Everything that we use when we are on investigation, we don't have to wait and do it and play it back later when we get home on the computer. We can hear it in real time.
But if they're saying something in low frequency, I'd be afraid that thing is picking up radio signal and pushing that out there if it's that sensitive.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. You know, it's each your own. I wonder.
Depends.
Yeah. We'll see here. I have the digital recorder. It's an Olympus stereo. Which is the best digital or analog voice recorder fight? That's a good question. I wouldn't even know what would be considered like the best. That's a lot of research on your own equipment.
This is
Mine's a cheap $20 digital recorder. Mine's just a cheap one. I just listen to it, and usually what I do on investigation, I just turn it on, put it in my pocket where it sticks out, and just let it go while I do the whole investigation. And then when I get time, I'll listen to it later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't spend too much time to keep going back and listening.
Right.
And a lot of those shows, people that you watch, like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, they do it. You listen to some of the investigators that are guest appearance, they tell you that they only really technically do maybe no more than 2-3 hours of an investigation in a whole night, because most of the time it's just setting up cameras, setting up this. So they're not even really truly giving you a real full investigation. It just looks like it.
Yes.
But most of the time behind the scenes, they're setting things up.
Yes.
You know.
Matter of fact, a couple of times I've watched paranormal shows. They'll bring in a team. They'll do a whole investigation, and the team that's doing the investigation, they'll find things in the ceiling that are making, electromagnetic stuff go off, or they'll find people that left voice boxes in the wall to try to trick the paranormal investigators and stuff like that. I don't know if that stuff's rigged for the show or what, but sometimes you find that.
Yeah.
This is our neatest piece of equipment. Of course, this is the closest thing to what we have is Tapson, which is a FLIR. It is the thermal imaging, and it does take a camera. You can
the one that she's using.
Yeah, you get a tiny little image on that thing.
You're right. The one that she's using suck, but if you got a better one like you use, you can really catch some good stuff.
This one's small, but you can plug this into an iPad.
Yes.
This one here.
I forgot what it's called. Yeah.
It's a FLIR.
FLIR.
But you could plug this into your phone, into your iPad, and you get a gigantic image with it if it's on the iPad. And this thing is great.
Yep, and average price is around $250. They
Oh,
go
you can
from
get this on
$250
sale for like $199 now.
Yeah, if you get on sale, but average. I'm
Amazon
saying
Prime,
average price.
Amazon Prime Week or whatever, you probably get it for a good price too. I would
Actually, you know what? Here, let's bring this back up a second. Let's bring this back up. What brand is that called again?
FLIR, FLIR.
FLIR thermal camera.
There you go. It's right there. The middle one up top. The middle. Yep. Nope, the other one. The one in the middle, right there. The FLIR one.
Oh yeah, for iOS phones and that one.
Yep. That's not the right price.
Well, I mean, there's different.
That might be a third party seller.
Yeah, flares. I mean, you got to research. There's $299. I saw them for $249. So they're all different. There's different prices. Like you said, a third party could sell on Amazon.
You can also use it, as they show you there, to find the live wires in your wall behind the sheetrock and stuff like that. It'll show you the hot wires behind the wall. Yeah, like $229. Yeah, you'll find it for a good price. Believe me, if you search around.
Yeah, and you don't have to use Amazon. I'm just using it because it just shows a lot of different ones.
But as you can see, the gun right there. You see how tiny the image is on the gun shelf?
The iPhone is much bigger.
Look at the price range on those things. $900 to $1,400. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'd rather pay the $229 and see it on my bigger phone.
Yeah, man.
And you guys had, on your investigation, you had the shot because of it.
Well, that was with the psionics. That was
but the thermal, but the equipment thermal you had was the key shot for that investigation.
Right. I could show you right now what pretty much what thermal looks like, just to give you an idea. I should have a video. Here we go. So there's Therm right there. There's Mike. There's the road.
Oh shit.
What?
Never mind.
Talk.
It looked like an eye.
But these things, it's. I'm telling you, man, it's great to have. And you could change the color settings on them to black and white, green and black and white, red. You could pick any color setting you want on that.
Now, have you, since you've been using it a lot more than a lot of people, have you ever noticed sometimes you got a heat when there's really, it was just something, interference, like some kind of interference with those? Have you seen a lot of interference with those by any chance? Like, how accurate would you think
Very accurate.
are?
Very accurate.
Very accurate?
Very, very accurate. You can point that thing up to the sky and film a plane going by with it. It picks up all little orbs and weird anomalies. There's also motion tracking on it. It'll put a crosshair out there, and then whenever something comes into the FLIR that's an anomaly, motion tracking to follow it with the crosshair, which was really, really cool. I actually have a clip here. Oh, here it is right here. Of I filmed what you were just asking for now. I'll send it in. An anomaly I captured in the sky with the FLIR camera. And I tell you, man, it's a great device to have in your arsenal. Again, if you could afford it. I mean, it's not, these tools can get very, very expensive. They're not for everyone, but so there's the motion tracking, and it picked up this weird anomaly over the ocean, and it's tracking it in the sky. Pretty cool how it does that, right?
Yeah, it kind of gives you a slight image of what you're looking at.
Well, it was an orb that I had seen with my actual eyes, and
that orb has heat.
I hooked the FLIR up, and it followed it. It tracked it. And that motion tracking is awesome, man.
Oh, this is interesting.
It's a great tool to have.
The Sony Handycam 8mm has the best night vision cameras made in the 90s. Is the best. It's better to use tape for ghost hunting, I found. Over digital? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
What did he say? Handycam.
The best better to use tape. Like I think using tape instead of using digital.
Your brother is on the money, baby. The Sony Handycam. Never leave home without it. I got one. This is a great tool to have too. The old Sony Handycam. Really good to have.
Sony makes good cameras. They're expensive.
Great.
And I've heard through a few people that tape will catch more than in digital, which
I love that Handycam.
and it makes sense because tape is more in line of analog versus digital. So I can see where a tape might be able to catch more because it's on a different spectrum. It's on
Ron
a wider spectrum.
has the Canon one of these, which is really good. We set that up when we went with Cambians, and I'm pretty sure his had. I'm 99% sure it had night vision on it, and it's light and durable and really good. And if you set it up correctly, you get dynamite shots with those cameras too, those digital ones.
See, Mike Johnson, you can learn something from this channel, from this show. This is why we do this. We share information. This is
Sony Handycam, man. Everyone needs one of those in their arsenal when they're investigating.
Yeah, this is why we share information. Let's see what else she says.
So if something passes before it that we're trying to pick up, we'll actually see it on the camera.
What was the most memorable ghost experience we ever had? Oh, okay, let's see what she says.
It would probably be the night that, this is one of our newest members, the night that we were at the last of our ghost hunting experience, okay, that we had last year. Okay, all of our proceeds went to the Aberdeen Animal Shelter when we raised money.
That's cool.
But it was the last night, and we had the Frank's box in the long tunnel at the ordnance, and we already knew that there were two individual spirits out there when we talked to them many, many times. One was Philip, who was a commander out there who lost all of his men. He walked into an ambush and they were all killed. So he feels responsible, so he needs to be there. Then we also have a young man named Michael, who is a young soldier. He died at the age of 17. He'd only been in the service maybe less than a year and was killed. And they're buried out there. And because that's where they died. And we headed in the tunnel, and they were talking over the.
Okay, I don't need to hear her speak anymore. But first of all, the number one equipment for any paranormal investigation is yourself, your eyes and ears. And I guess the equipment you use, it really depends on what's your goal on it. You know, for a lot of times for myself, it's if I had a camera, yes, I'll share it with everybody on YouTube, but it's more for myself. So I might not need all that equipment, but if you're an investigator who wants to prove to the world, then you're going to need more than the average person. Yeah. But again, depends on how many people you have, because that's a lot of stuff you got to carry. I mean, you just saw that lady; she had a whole table full of equipment. So that I'm guessing she must have 6 or 7 people.
I don't. That's why I say I don't care who makes fun of it. Whatever. That vest is a lifesaver. That camera vest.
But Anthony, always wondering. I know it is luck of the draw sometimes, catching anything, but I'm always wondering if you go out on investigation with so many people, I would feel if there's a present, they might not want to be shown because there's just too many of you versus maybe there's only 1 or 2. I don't know. Everybody thinks differently on that, but I always feel less is better.
Yeah.
You gotta go with 2 people at least.
2, 3 tops for me, personally. Preference.
Yeah.
You know? If you want to do 4, the only way I would bring 4 is if you had like a bunch of cameras set up and you needed somebody to stay back and monitor a table with cameras and audio and stuff like that, and 3 other guys went out into the field. I can see getting behind something like that.
Yeah. When we went out on ours, it was just me, my brother, and his son was the camera person. 3 people was perfect. One with the camera.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We walk around and
even that, right.
Yeah, because you had too many people. It's just I would think, not guarantee that nothing won't happen, but I would have a feeling. So I'm always wondering when a show goes out on investigation, like a Ghost Adventures or TAP, they don't show you, but they really got a big army behind them setting everything up. Wouldn't that just scare the average ghost if you had that many people putting up that much equipment? I mean,
Either that, or it's going to raise a lot of activity to start happening. You know what I mean?
I guess there's 2
'Cause
points of
when you
it. I
do
guess
when you do construction, it usually upsets the spirits, and they get very active too. They say.
now what is this? Freaking Geek says sometimes, but it's rare. The more people around, the stranger the activity, but not for long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good point. These kind of things are going on globally.
Of course.
Well, yeah, I mean that's. Thank you, man. These
Oh.
were great ideas, and I appreciate. Oh, awesome! I want to be seeing everything. Man, I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. It's
up,
awesome
Juan?
to see you. It's
Juan
awesome to see
and
you.
Ron.
So,
Good to
so,
see you.
so let's do this. So say tomorrow, Anthony, you're going out on a paranormal investigation, and you only bring 3 items with you, just 3. What were the 3 items you would take with you? And it's a night investigation, not daytime.
Night vision, FLIR, and a regular camera, I guess, because they all have audio on it anyway.
Yes, you got the flare to see if there's heat, because usually Ghost has energy. You'll be able to
Pick it up.
spot it, and you have your voice
Regular
camera.
camera and night vision. Would be the 3 I would take.
So again, people, hopefully this is like I said, this is a different kind of a show. This show was just more of, what equipment to use and all that. And there's a lot of equipment I still want to get. I want to get that one device where you put on the ground, and if something gets near it, it goes off. I don't have that. That'd be pretty cool to have in the middle, for night.
And I can promise you,
daytime too. That thing works. Doesn't matter if it's day or night.
And I can promise you guys this: if you ever go paranormal hunting with Ron, you will have every single piece of equipment known to man, because he has everything. There's nothing Ron doesn't have.
And if he doesn't have it, he'll get it.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
And he's got good quality of
He can
it
make
too.
it. He can make this stuff too if he doesn't have it. You give him enough time, he can make it.
Donnie Cho, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a long time.
Says stuff.
That is awesome.
The 4K
Are you
camera.
now when you go on an investigation, do you prepare yourself for like, I know a lot of people go on investigations, they're minded to like one main, UFO, Bigfoot, or paranormal. Like myself, I think you are the same way. When you go out, you're looking for all 3. So you're gonna try to have equipment that you can use for all 3.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Me and Mike were out doing on a Bigfoot, hike, and it was cloudy. The sky opened up. We were in a pitch black spot. All the stars were there. We just stopped for like a half hour just filming the sky. So it really don't matter. It's just keep an open mind. Anything can happen,
And do you feel? I know we're getting close to the end, but I know some people have told me, and if you really want to find experience, you really need to have an open mind and an open spirit to be able to, because you could close yourself off to I don't know, a ghost reaction and all that. You can turn yourself off. Now, Nikki says something to me interesting when she was on that I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about, that when she was talking to a medium, they're saying that is closed off. I never really hear that kind of a conversation with the medium.
Closed off, like what?
Like closed off, like the reason she don't sense a lot of ghosts or a lot of things is because she's closed. Her mind is closed. She's not open. And it's like, I never really heard. I was like, that's pretty interesting. So a medium told you that you're closed off. So I don't
buy that.
I didn't ask her, like, did he ever mention, like, how can you get opened up?
I don't buy that about Nikki.
She
goes searching for Bigfoot. You got to be open-minded for that, and be susceptible to anything happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's like a weird comment. Like, you're not open enough. It's almost like wasn't Sixth Sense? Or was that Kevin Bacon movie where she's her sister-in-law is a medium and opened his mind to see more?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can maybe see somebody maybe like opening your mind a little bit more, but I never really heard that you're just blocked. Like how? Like what do you mean blocked? Like are you?
Somebody read the title of her show and they see that she's very skeptical about things and they labeled her that. You know what I mean? And they don't know her at all because that's not the kind of person she is at all. So they were mistaken with that. Definitely.
Yeah, that was just weird when she told me. I'm like, huh. Like if they told you're closed off, then well, how do you open it back up? It's just all that. So guys, what do you got coming up, Anthony?
Sunday. Are you talking about Stir of Echoes?
Star of Echoes, yes.
Okay,
I love
so
that movie.
the movie, yeah. Sunday we're going to discuss Avi Loeb and the meta material that he found under the ocean. The paranormal. I'll pull it up for you.
Hey, Mike, I saw you on the Sea Squatchers. I love the Sea Squatchers. I actually at the Yakima Bigfoot conference, Jen and I took a picture together. She took a picture of us together, and I haven't seen that picture, but I saw you on the Sea Squatchers. They're great gals, because they were paranormal investigators before they became Bigfoot investigators.
So allegedly, Avi Loeb had a groundbreaking discovery by scientists in the Pacific Ocean that could prove once and for all that aliens are real. Allegedly, they found these metal sphere fragments that they picked up under the ocean that crashed back into Earth like 2014, and it was an interstellar piece of meteorite that was not from our solar system. So they're saying that this could be proof of extraterrestrial life outside our solar system, and that's NASA saying it's 99.99% positive that it's not from our solar system. So we'll discuss that this weekend. I actually have the footage of Avi on the ship while they're recovering this material, so it's going to be a good show.
Wow, that's honestly that sounds interesting. I mean, you think, yeah, I mean, that kind of information you hope that they'll share with us when they learn more about it.
Oh yeah, no, they've been sharing it quite frequently. Their findings, of course, it's like all open source. Avi Loeb's work, so it's really cool. And to have the footage of him on the ship when they're recovering it, and they show you the material, and it's pretty wild, very interesting.
That is awesome. I'm trying to find because God, I wish I could find you here from Mike because there's a video here. Oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could find it here. Mike, on my channel somewhere, Jen from the Sea Squatchers told us her amazing Mandela effect story on a statue that she grew up as a kid that changed on her. And if you get a chance, Mike, go to it's somewhere, Jen for Sea Squatchers Mandela effect, and it's amazing. I dropped it down to an 8-minute clip, and her story about this change that happened to her was amazing. If you get a chance, Mike, you want to check that out. But beyond that, tomorrow I'm probably going to upload my paranormal thing I did last night. It was fun. There was a couple cool things that happened during it. My hat flew off on it, but I don't know if it was me or not, but it felt like a hand went up. That was really cool. Some voices supposed to be said, and you're gonna hear that my machine goes off and said, "Did you hear my voice?" And then all the dogs go crazy. It's actually, you'll see tomorrow. It's really fun. I did a live show on TikTok. I'm doing live shows on TikTok on Wednesday nights. Next Wednesday, I'm gonna be see if I could contact my dog that's I buried in the backyard. I don't know if I can or not, but that's gonna be kind of fun.
How you doing that?
Yeah, anything, you know. I had that dog in the backyard for over 15 years, so there's a connection there. So everything is fun. So beyond that, guys, thank you for showing up. I know it's a different kind of a show, but I think equipment is very important.
Sure it is.
And it's awesome to have Anthony on because Anthony, guy like Ron, they have these equipment that they use, and some of it we learned that it is useful.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And we all learned that a lot of it is whatever you can afford, but you got to do your research because some things can be too cheap and they ain't gonna work. But you guys got to do your research hard and
price around. You know,
price
if
around.
you found it and it says $300 doesn't mean that's the final price.
Yeah, and guys, I just use Amazon because they have everything there. But you could
make sure it's not coming from a third party when it's on Amazon. You get screwed like that. Making sure,
you get screwed
Amazon.
big time.
Yeah,
and sometimes the company directly who makes those has the best prices too. And we buy directly from them. Sometimes you get a better warranty on them.
And there's nothing wrong with something secondhand from Amazon either if it's a very expensive piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, very expensive. So beyond that, guys, we'll see you next time on the Paranormal Highway.